Let's let it sit for a minute. Sometimes it cuts out after a minute.
No, it works. I already tested the Wi-Fi.
No, sometimes the streaming doesn't work.
Yeah, I tried streaming that
How did you try streaming? That makes sense. I'm still gonna test it. How do we already have so many viewers?
Yeah.
No, as soon as I turned it on, I had 2.
Yeah, I believe it. Mine already showed up there. I get notifications right away on my phone, so I also
Not even talking. Turn the volume up real quick.
I can hear you saying funny.
All right. Welcome to this Emmanuel versus McDonell playoff game, volleyball. We'll be kicking it off here in about 15 seconds, a little less. Emmanuel winning their first 2 playoffs games. Their first one, an easy win. Their second, just barely managing to pull off a win there in the 4th set. And looks like we'll be starting off pretty soon here after a very long buzzer. All right. We'll be doing the national anthem in a couple seconds here. All right. All right. A very nice national anthem performed by a McDonell student. And all right, looks like both teams are getting ready. I'll be able to give you the starters in a second here. I don't have a stat sheet, so I won't be able to say the names of the McDonell players, but I'll just refer to them by their numbers. Emmanuel, I do know their names. Looks like all Emmanuel coaches are back. Prof. Lau, Mrs. Schaller is not here. Mrs. Falkenberg looks like Mrs. Schaller is here. There she is. All right, Mrs. Falkenberg and Miss Oster will be assisting them. And for Emmanuel Lancer starters, we have Claire Schoenbeck, Bryn Schoenbeck, Caitlin Berman, Allison Schaller, Erica Oster, and Alexis Eichley. All right. Now for McDonell. Number 3, Carly Jensen. Number 4, Nikki Frecker. Krager. Number 8, Krager. Number 9, Emma Fowler. I don't know their names. That was number 16. And number 21, and libero, number 1. All right, so it'll be number 1, number 21, number 16, number 4, number 3, number 8, and number 9 starting for McDonell. All right, let's play some volleyball. Both teams on their way out onto the court, giving each other some pregame high fives. All right. Doing camera for me today is Lydia Kettner, and I'm Sam Rodemacher. Excited to see some good volleyball. Got quite a few Lancers fans here today for an away game. It's a pretty important away game. All right, Bryn Schoenbeck will be starting it off today, serving for the Lancers. Okie dokie. She serves. Received by number 8 over to 4, and number 21 spiking it down at Faith. Claire bumps it over to Allison, who hits it down. Number 3. Number 4 sets up number 8, who spikes it down at Erica. Bryn sets up Claire, who hits it over. Almost blocked, but number 3 gets it up over to 4. Number 21 tries to spike it, but it goes into the net. Bryn getting to serve again. The score being 1-0 Lancers. Bryn serves, received by number 8 over to 4. And that'll be number 3 with the spike. Claire just managing to get that down to Bryn, who is not able to get that back in the direction she wants it to. It goes out of bounds. All right, number 8 will be serving for McDonell. Score 1-1. Received by Faith over to Caitlin, who sets up Claire, who bumps it all the way over to the libero. Number 4 sets up number 3, who spikes it down. Faith not able to get there in time. Now we are at 2-1. McDonell. Not sure what their mascot is. The McDonell Max. All right. Caitlin to Claire, who hits it down at number 9. Over to number 4, who bumps it up to number 3, who spikes it into the net. All right. Now we're at 2-2. It's all tied up here early on in the first set. Got Faith Kazemba serving. Libero for Emmanuel. Received by number 3 over to 4. Number 21 hitting it down. Lands inbounds just right next to the line there. Now we are at 3-2. Max are in the lead. McDonell Max. Number 3 serves into the net. Now we once again are tied 3-3. Erica Oster serving. She puts it up and over to 1 to 10, who bumps it over to 4, who she also bumps it over to Erica, to Bryn, who sets up Annie, who tips it down at number 8. Number 4 setting up number 21, who spikes it, and Emmanuel is not ready for that. Now we are at 4-3. McDonell is in the lead. This game's really shifting back and forth. It's anyone's game still. Number 1, the libero for McDonell serves over to Milena, to Bryn, and that would be Alexis hitting it down at number 10. She hits it behind her, and it's almost saved by number 1, but she isn't able to hit it with enough force back over the net. We are once again tied at 4-4. It's been tied at every single point so far, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Claire serves. It goes out of bounds just past the corner. Wait, nope. The ref has changed his mind, and it is inbounds. Just right in the corner of the court there. Claire serves again. Received by number 1 over to 4, and that would be number 16 with the spike. And it's a bit too powerful. It goes out of bounds. Lancers now have a 2-point lead. That's the most I've seen so far today. All right, Claire serving again, received by number 10, over to 4, and number 8 with the spike, but that also goes out of bounds. We are now at 7-4. Got Claire once again. The crowd cheering Claire's signature cheer. Oh, Claire. All right, Milena to Claire, and Milena again spiking it, just managing to barely get it back over. All right, Bryn spiking it down. This one's a bit too powerful. It goes out of bounds. And now we have number 4 of McDonell serving. She puts it up. Received by Milena. Over to Avery, who sets up Alexis, who spikes it down at number, I believe, 10. And that would be number 9 with the spike, and Lancer's not able to get that. It goes out of bounds off of them. And now we are at 7-6. Lancer's still at a 1-point lead, but McDonell catching up. That would be number 4 serving again. Received by Faith over to Milena, who bumps it over to Bryn, who spikes it, gets it past the block. Number 3 with a dig. Point goes to McDonell because after the dig, they got it back over, and then Emmanuel double hit it. We got number 4 once again serving. The score is once again all tied up, 7-7. Milena receives over to Avery, and Annie hits the spike down at number 7 over to 4. Number 11, I believe, no, 16, not able to get it past Emmanuel's block, and it hits the floor on their side. Now we're at 8-7. Alexis Eichley serving for Emmanuel. That would be an ace by Emmanuel. Goes out of bounds, way out of bounds off of number 10 on McDonell. Alexis gets to serve again. Puts it up and over to 9, 4, who sets up number 16, who isn't able to get it past the Lancers block. Number 8 hits it over to Milena, who sets up Avery, who sets up Bryn. She spikes it, gets it past the block, and it bounces out of bounds after that. Now the score is 10-7. Lancers up. Alexis Eichley serving again. We'll see if they can keep up this lead. That serve goes a little ways out of bounds there. We're now at 10-8. Number 9 for McDonell serving. Sorry, I don't have their names here. Number 9 serves, received by Milena. Over to Avery, who sets up Bryn, who spikes it down at number 9 to 4. And number 3, not able to hit it over the net. Now at 11-8. Lancers still with their 3-point lead. Got Caitlin Berman serving. All right. Caitlin serves, received by 1 over to 4. Received by number 1 over to 4. And that would be tip down to Allison over to Avery. And Allison again with the hit over to 1. And we got number, I believe, 16 hitting it down at the Lancers. Gets back on their side. And then Avery to Bryn, who hits it down at number 4. And number 3 with the tip over to Caitlin. Avery setting up Allison, who spikes it. Point goes to the Lancers, even though that was out because the Max touched the net, I believe. Either that or they crossed the line. Timeout called by McDonell. Pretty nice game here played by both. They were really neck and neck with each other at the beginning. Then Lancers managing to pull ahead now at a 5-point lead. The score, by the way, is 13-8. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to tell us in the comments section of our video, or you can tell us Discord, either one. I'm not really sure the comment section right now. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. You guys can send us messages, and we'll know if it is. And oh, great, we are back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties there. Our internet cut out on us. What happened was McDonell came back, and now we are at 13-12. So Lancers still with their 1-point lead, but McDonell definitely making a comeback here. The Lancers are the ones who just called that timeout. We'll see if they can manage to pull ahead again. But in the meantime, we'll see what happens. Definitely a rowdy Lancers section here tonight. We got number 16 for McDonell serving. All right. Received by Faith. Gets it all the way back over. Number 3 to 4. And number 3 with the spike. Gets blocked. Number 4 setting up number 21, who spikes it down. Faith digs it up. And Bryn setting it all the way over to 3, who sets it to 4. And that would be number 3 with the spike. And it goes just out of bounds. And we got Bryn Schoenbeck serving. Sorry, I can't always see the McDonald's numbers because their ponytails are covering them up. But, all right, Bryn serves, received by number 8. That was number 21 with the spike. That went out of bounds. So now the score is 15 to 12. Bryn Schoenbeck serving again. Okay. Bryn Schoenbeck up and over to number 3, over to 4, and number 21 with the spike. This one lands in bounds, just right in the corner. Point goes to McDonell. We're at 15 to 13. Lancers still in the lead, but McDonell catching up here. Number 8 serves down to Faith, over to Bryn, and that would be Erica. It gets blocked over, and double hit on Caitlin Berman. So we're at 14 to 15. Lancers only up by 1 point here. Number 8 serving again. Received by Faith. Over to Bryn, who sets up Claire. She spikes it down to number 9. Over to 8. And number 3 barely gets it over the net to Allison. To Caitlin. And Claire with the spike. Over to 4. And number 3 hitting it down to Claire again. Bryn sets up Erica, who spikes it down and gets it there before number 1 can dig it up. All right. Faith Kazemba serving again. Score is 16 to 14. Let's see what she can do here. Received by number 1 over to 4, who sets up 21. Caitlin gets it. Claire tips it. And number 8 is not able to get it, even with her impressive little roll thing there. All right, Faith again. 17 to 14. Number 1 not able to get the dig there, and that would be an ace for Emmanuel. Now it's 18 to 14. Faith having some pretty nice serves here. Faith over to number 1, over to 4, who sets up 3, who spikes it down. This one goes out of bounds. We got Faith again. She serves it over to 1, who bumps it over to number 4, who tips it over, gets it past Bryn and Alexis's block, and onto the Lancers side. Hits the ground. So now we're at 19 to 15. Got number 3 for McDonell serving. This one just lands right on the line there, so McDonell gets the point. Now the score is 16 to 19. Got Caitlin receiving over to Bryn, and Claire with the spike. And it just lands right out of bounds there. Now we're at 19 to 17. McDonell coming back here a bit again. Number 3 serving to Caitlin over to Bryn. And that would be Erica. And a double hit on number 9. On McDonell's side. Got Erica serving again. We're at 20 to 17. Erica serving again. Received by number 9 over to 4. And number 21 spiking it down at Erica. Faith bumping it over to Claire, who bumps it over behind her back. This one goes out of bounds. Point goes to McDonell. We're at 20-18. So Lydia, the comments are actually working. All right, you guys can comment on this video. We are able to see it. Number one serves down to Annie over to Bryn, and Alexis spikes it over. Got Faith setting up Bryn, and Annie spiking it down, and it just gets past number, I believe, 18's dig, but McDonell manages to save it in a very impressive save. But number 8 is not able to get that, and it goes out of bounds off of her. So now we're at 21-18. Claire Sternbeck serving. Received by number 1 over to 4, who sets up number, I believe, 16. And that spike is good. We would now be at 21-19. And number 4 serving. Faith receives it over to Milena, and Bryn bumping it all the way down to number 16. We got number 9 over to 10. Point goes to Emmanuel. Did you see what happened there? Did you see what happened? All right. Alexis Eichley serving. And it lands just in bounds when number 1 thought it would be going out of bounds. 23-19. Alexis to number 1. She gets it over. Bryn tips it back down again. Number 8 to number 9. Over to Milena to Avery. And Bryn, she spikes it. It's a bit too powerful. That one goes out of bounds. We got number 9 for McDonell serving. It's 23-20. Lancer's still up. All right, number 9 to Milena over to Avery. And Bryn spiking it. Received by number 9 again. And that would be number 8 with the spike. And it goes out of bounds. And Emmanuel now is at set point here. It's 24-20. We'll see if they can pull it off here real quick and finish the set. We got Caitlin Berman serving. Well, the Emmanuel fans holding up one finger to represent Uno Mas. One more point. All right, number 3 receives over to 4, who sets up number 3. She spikes it, gets it past the Lancers block. Faith sets up Erica, who gets it down to 1. And that would be Allison with the spike down at McDonell. And this lands inbounds, and Emmanuel has won the first set today. Very nice set played by both teams. McDonell really right at Emmanuel's heels the entire time. Managed to stay in this game. A very nice set also played by Emmanuel, who managed to stay ahead there. Some very nice plays throughout the entire thing. And this has been a pretty exciting playoff game. What do you think, Lydia? She says it was good. Quote unquote. All right. We will be back here shortly in about 2 minutes to play some volleyball. Okay. All right. Yeah, once again, you guys can comment on our video. That appears to be working. And I said this once already, but Emmanuel has all their coaches present today. Got Prof. Lau, Mrs. Schaller, uh, Mrs. Falkenberg, and Miss Oster are assisting. And let's see, doing bookie for Emmanuel's Grace Meyer, and managing is Crystal Sito. And Lancers have quite a few fans here today for an away game. Looks like in this second set, number 16 will be starting it off for McDonell. Refs say we're good to go, and number 16 starts us off. Caitlin bumps it up over to Claire. We're good. Okay. Number 16 serving again, received by Faith over to Claire, and Bryn spiking it down at number 4. Number 8 setting up number 3, and Faith over to Caitlin, who's not able to get that up in the air. She didn't look like she was ready for that. We have number 16 once again serving. Score is 2-0, McDonell. This one goes out of bounds. Lancers getting their first point of the set. And Bryn Schoenbeck is serving to start Emmanuel off. All right, received by number 9. And number 3 and number 4 both go for it, but neither of them are able to get there. We're tied up 2-2. And Bryn gets to serve again. The libero, number 1, receives over to number 4 to 21. A Faith, a Bryn to Claire. And number 9 puts it up to number 4 to 3. Her spike goes out of bounds. Bit too much power on that. And we have Bryn serving again. It's a good serve over to 9, and number 4 setting up number 21. Her spike is good. Manages to get it where there are no Lancers present. Now number 8 will be serving for McDonell, whose team name I believe is the Max. All right, number 8 serve just goes out of bounds. And it looks like it'll be Faith Kazemba serving. Her serve is good over to 9 to 4. And number 21 spiking it down at Kaylin. Over to Erica, and Faith bumps it all the way over to 9. And number 4 to 21, down to Faith again. Bryn setting up Claire. This spike is blocked. Bryn sets up Erica, who tips it over and manages to get it before number 8 is able to dig it up. Now Faith gets to serve again. Faith serves again over to number 1. She bumps it up to 4. And got number 3 spiking it down to Claire, but she is not able to receive. So now we have number 3. All right, number 3 serving again for McDonell. Caitlin receives it over to Bryn, who sets up Erica. She spikes it down at number 1, who is not able to get there in time to dig it up. All right, the score is currently 6-4. Emmanuel is up. Erica Oster serving. Erica serves it over to number 9. Number 4 setting up number 21. Bryn to Claire, and Annie spiking it, but this one goes into the net. And now the score is currently 6-5. Cool. All right, number 1 for Emmanuel. McDonell is serving. Just manages to get it over to Annie, to Bryn, and Annie again with the spike down to 10 over to 8. And number 9 is getting it over to Bryn, to Claire, and Annie with the spike down to 8. Number 3 to number 4, who just manages to get it over, and Faith not able to dig it up. Currently, the score is all tied up 6-6. Number 1 for McDonell, received by Milena over to Bryn, who sets up Claire. This one lands inbounds. All right, Claire Schoenbeck once again is serving. 7-6. Claire gets it over to 1. And Bryn Schoenbeck with a very powerful spike there. Just drives it right down. And the Macs are not able to receive that in time. Currently the score is 8-6. Claire serving again. All right, number 10 bumps it up over to 1, who bumps it over to 9, who bumps it over the net. Claire bumps it to Annie. And Alexis, she spikes it down and manages to get it right on the line. Now we are at 9-6. Lancers are up. Timeout called by McDonell, who is currently falling behind. We'll see if they can keep it up here. They're only down by 3. All right, if you guys notice anything wrong with the video or anything, be sure to tell us right away so that we can fix whatever problems we may have. Remember, the comments section is working, so you guys can just scroll down to the comments and write something to us, and we'll be able to see it right away. All right. Both teams back out on the court. Claire serving again. She puts it up and gets it over to 10, over to 4, and number 9 spiking it down. Faith bumps it up over to Claire, who sets up her sister Bryn, and this one just goes outside and out of bounds. So we are at 9-7. Number 4 for McDonell serving. She gets it over to Milena, and Annie saves it and gets it to Alexis, and it goes back over. Number 16 spiking it down to Faith. Avery to Bryn, and gets it past the block, and number 1 not able to get it after number 9 saves it. So now we're at 10-7. Alexis Eichley serving. Number 10 receives over to 4, who gets it to 9. Spikes it down to Milena, over to Avery, and Bryn spiking it down to number 4. 8 to number 1, who bumps it all the way over to Alexis. Avery setting up Allison, who spikes it down. Number 8 sets up number 9. And Bryn to Avery, and Bryn again. She sets it all the way over to the corner where number 10 is not able to slide and get it. Huh. Okay. Number 4 over to 9, and Allison to Avery, and McDonell manages to get it back over, and Lancer's not able to put that up again. It appears some of our viewers are having some trouble with the video. Just comment if your video is working, so we'll know that some people are able to see it. Number 5 serves, received by Milena, over to Avery, and Bryn spiking it down at number 5. Number 4 and number 1 have some miscommunication, and the ball hits the floor before they can get it up. Be sure to comment if the video is working for you, so that we'll know if it's a problem on our end or not. All right. Caitlin serves again, received by number 1 over to 4, who sets up number 3, who spikes it down. And this one lands right in bounds. Faith not able to get there in time. We have number 16 serving for McDonell. The score is currently 12-9. Faith puts it up over to Avery, and Erica tips it over. Number 3 spiking it down. Bryn not able to get it up. Now we're at 12-10. Number 16 for McDonell serving again. All right, Faith to Avery, and that would be number 8 and number 21 going for it. Number 2 puts it up to number 4, and number 21 spiking it down at Caitlin. All right, it appears our video is not working. I'm going to try to fix it here. I'll tell you what happens as we go. All right. Lydia, do you want to commentate real quick?
Okay. Okay. The Max got the point here. 16 on the Max will be serving. Nice serve over, received by Faith. Up to Avery, who sets it up for Bryn to spike. She spikes it inbounds. 4 thinks it'll be out, so Lances with that point. Claire Schoenbach is subbing in for Avery. Bryn will now be serving. Bryn on Lancers will serve. Received by number 9, set up by 4, and spiked by 21. She spikes a little bit too hard and it goes out. Lancers with that point. The Lancers are leading 14-12. Bryn Schoenbach, number 11 on Lancers, will be serving. Libero sets it up for and 21 with the spike. Faith receives it. She bumps it all the way over the net and it goes out. Number 8 on the Max will now be serving. They are only 1 point behind the Lancers at 13. 8 with a nice serve over. Faith sets it up. Bryn sets it. And Claire with the spike. 3 sets it. 3 Lancers with the point. Please comment if it's working for you or if it's not working for you. We're not sure if it is or not. Number 8 on Max will now be serving. It goes into the net. Alexis Eichley coming in for is working for you. Serving, receive, sets it right back over. Erica dumps it over the net. 4 with the sub. 21 tipping it, and Bryn can't quite get to it. Huh? Please again, comment if it's working for you. Tell us. 3 for Max serving again. Caitlin bumps it. Bryn sets it up, and Faith with a spike from the back row. 4 chips it over. Bryn bumps it over, and it lands out of bounds. Timeout by the Lancers. The Max will be winning 17-15.
We are still not 100% sure the video part of it. So, all right. Because we have no way of knowing right now. I don't know if it must be the internet we're connected to, if it blocks video streaming or something. I tried to get it working again just a second ago. Yeah. On your phone. All right. We have number 3 for McDonell serving, received by Alexis over to Caitlin, and Claire bumping it over to 8. Number 4 sets up number 21, who Bryn. Over to Erica and Claire with the spike. And number 3 tips it out of bounds. Erica Oster serving for Lancers. The score is 16-17. McDonell just by 1 point. Erica serves, received by number 10 over to 4. Number 20, Bryn. Claire sets up Annie, who hits it down to 1. Number 4 to 21, and to Bryn. And Annie tips it. Number 8 tries to get it up, but is unable to. So now we're tied up 17-17. All right, number 1 to 4 and number 21 with the Claire sets it over. Number 1 to 4 and number 9. She spikes it. It appears our video is not working. I will keep on trying to work with that. I might give it back to Lydia again here while I try to fix it. All right. It's tied up right now, 18-18. I'm gonna give it to Lydia, and try to get it working again, so you guys can see. Brent's number 3 puts it up over to 4, and number 16 down to Bryn, who hits it out of bounds.
The Macs are now leading 20-18. 4 will be again serving for the Macs. She serves it over, received by Malena, spiked over by Faith on the back row, and she gets that point. Very nice spike there by Faith Kazemba. Alexis Eichley will now be serving after the substitution of the Macs. I have to turn my data on. Alexis serving for the Lance, and can't quite get her trying. Caitlin Berman, number 8 on Lancers, will now be serving. Receive. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that. The Wi-Fi here is not working. It's giving it. I will continue commentating, and please let us know if anything happened to that. Up, and Claire Schoenbeck tips it over. The Lancers get the point. I believe one of the Macs was in the net. Bryn Schoenbeck, number 11 for Lancers, will again be serving. Receive. Oh, and number. Please comment if it is working. We are trying something different for the video. Bryn will again be serving. 4 sets it up, and number 8 on the Mac spikes it into the net. The Lancers are now winning 3-0 in this third set. The score is 3-0. Bryn is 4 sets it up, 21 spikes it, but it goes out of bounds. That will be the Lancers' point. The Lancers have the first 4-3. No, wait. We have a little bit of a contemplation. I guess the refs thought the Lancers touched it, so that will go to the Max, actually. Number 8 will be serving. Can you please text her back? Number 8 on Max serves it. Faith Kazemba receives it. Spiked. Erica receives it. Claire sets it up. Bryn bumps it over. 21 receives it. 4 sets it up. And 3 spikes it into the net. Lancers get the point. That was a very quick volley there. Sorry, I can't speak. Faith Kazemba serves it for the Lancers, received by number 9, and no one of her teammates can get to it. Faith Kazemba, number 6, the libero on the Lancers, will again be serving. The libero receives it, 21 sets it up, and number 3 bumps it over. Claire bumps it up, Bryn sets it, and Erica with a spike to number 9. 4 setting it up for number 3 to spike, and it is blocked by Erica and I'm sorry, I can't remember her name right now. Alexis, that is her name. I guess it goes to the Max, though. I'm not exactly sure why. Number 3 for Max will now be serving. Received by Faith Kazemba. Erica sets it up. Faith bumps it all the way over. Set up by 3, spiked by 21, and it is in. The score is 5-3. Max at 3, losing by 2 right now, but they will be serving. Number 3 will be serving for them. 3 serves it. Faith Kazemba receives it. Bryn, number 11, sets it up. It hits the ceiling, but Faith bumps it over. Libero receives it. Set up by and spiked. It is blocked by Erica, but it goes out of bounds. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of issue seeing the Max side, so I can't always tell you their number. Number 3 for Max will again be serving. Received by Faith Kazemba. Bryn sets it up. Erica spikes it over. It is blocked by 9, but it still goes over. Claire sets it back up. Bryn gets it up. Alexis spikes it up. 8 bumps. Alexis setting it up. Bryn setting it up. And Claire with the spike. It is blocked, but it still goes over. Max getting it back over. Alexis bumps it. And Claire spiking it, but it goes out of bounds.
We're just gonna talk.
We're just gonna talk is the new plan, I guess. And I guess the video's not working.
All right, number 3 serves it into the net, and the score is currently 6-5. Lancers are up. We are just gonna talk because apparently the video is not working, so we'll try to describe it best as possible. Annie Oster comes in for Caitlin Berman, and Erica puts it up and serves. And number 8 goes for it. Number 4 bumps it, and number 10 bumps it over the net. Erica receives. Bryn sets it, and Claire tries to spike. It gets blocked, but Bryn manages to get it back over and put it and land it right on the line. So now we're at 7-5. Lancers are up. Number 21 spikes it down from Erica's serve, and Lancers are not able to get to that in time. We're now at 7-6. Lancers are still up, but only by 1 now. Number 1 for McDonell serves. Milena receives. Bryn tips it over and manages to get it on the ground before the Max are able to get there. Now we're at 8-6. Yeah, sorry about our video not working. I'm not really sure what's going on. I've tried a whole bunch of things, but it apparently won't be working anymore. I think what happened was McDonell shut off their internet about halfway through the game, and it apparently wouldn't let us broadcast or show us the video anymore. All right, Bryn serves, and McDonell gets it back over, and Annie is not able to get that over the net again. Number 4 for McDonell will be serving. The score is currently 7-8. She bounces it a couple times and then puts it up. And Faith and Milena both dive for it, but neither of them get there in time. We're tied up now, 8-8. Number 4 gets to serve again. All right. She bounces it a couple times again and then puts it over. Milena receives. Avery sets it up to Bryn, who sets it over. Number 1 to 4 to number 16, who spikes it down to Faith, over to Bryn, who hits it over. Number 14 to number 9, who gets it past the Lancers block, and it lands on their side. So now we have the score being 9-8. Max in the lead. Number 4 hits it down to Bryn, to Avery, and Alexis spiking it down at number 4, and it bounces out of bounds off of her. So now we have Alexis serving. Score tied up 9-9. Alexis serves number 10. It goes out of bounds off of her. And Alexis serving again, 10-9. She puts it up, and this one goes into the net. Number 9 for McDonell serving now. It's tied up again, 10-10. Both teams really keeping up with each other. Faith receives. Avery sets up Bryn, and she gets it past the block. And the block also touches the net, so Lancers get the point. Score is 11-10. Caitlin Berman serving again. Caitlin serves over to 8 to 4, and number 3 with the spike down at Caitlin. Avery bumping it over to Allison, who bumps it over. Number 6 to 4 to 18, spiking it down at Caitlin. Avery to Bryn, and her hit goes into the net. We're tied up 11-11. Number 16 for McDonell serving. Caitlin bumps it over to Erica. Bryn bumps it all the way over to 8 to 4. And number 21 spiking it down at Faith. And Avery to Bryn. And that, her spike is a bit too powerful. Goes out of bounds. We're now at 12-11. McDonell has pulled ahead here. 16 serves over to Faith. Avery bumping it over to Erica. She spikes it down, and number 9 is not able to get it up off the floor. Bryn will be serving once again. She puts it up over to 3, and number 4 sets up number 8. And Claire blocks it to tip it over, and it lands back on the ground on their side. So now we're at 13-12. Bounce has shifted back to Lancers. Number 9, Bryn serves it and gets an ace from number 9, who bumps it out of bounds. We're now at 14-12. Lancers are up. Bryn getting to serve again. She puts it up, and it goes out of bounds by quite a ways. Bit too much power on that. Number 8 for McDonell gets to serve now, score being 14-13. Caitlin puts it up. Bryn to Claire, who hits it over. Number 1 bumps it to 21, who bumps it over to Bryn. Sets up Erica, who sets up Claire, who spikes it down. Number 1 to 4. And number 3 with the spike. Faith to Bryn, and Claire setting it over. Faith to Claire, who bumps it all the way back over to 1. Number 4 to number 3. Spikes it down at Faith. And Allison saves it, gets it to Bryn, Claire, who lifts it. And the point goes to the Max. Tied up again, 14-14. Number 8 for McDonell serving. Faith bumps it over to Bryn, and Claire spiking it down at number 3. Number 4 sets it over to Bryn, who is not ready for that. She dives for it, but hits it out of bounds. All right, number 8 gets to serve again, and now the score is 15-14. Max are up. Faith receives over to Bryn, and Allison spikes it down at 8. Number 9 bumps it over to Caitlin, who bumps it into the net in a dive. Lancers call a timeout. They're now down by 2 points. The score is 16-14. And so I'm still not really sure what's wrong with the video here. I've tried several things. If you guys are still able to hear me, comment that, because I'm not even sure if that's working right now. I might just be talking to nobody. I don't know. Just be sure to tell us if it's working or not. And if the video ever does miraculously start working, be sure to tell us right away, because we'd be happy to hear that. But in the meantime, I'll try to describe as best I can what is going on. Emmanuel won the first set, Max won the second set, and we are currently in the middle of the third set with the score being 16-14. And number 8 for McDonell serves into the net. So now the score is 16-15. Max are still up, but Lancer's only down by 1. Faith Kazemba serves, received by number 3. And number 21 tips it over to Claire, over to Bryn, to Erica, who sets it over. Number 4 to 21, who spikes it down at Faith, and it goes out of bounds off of Faith. So now the score is 17-15. Looks like number 1 will be serving for McDonell. Nope, scratch that. Number 3 will be serving for McDonell. Sometimes it's hard to see their numbers because they're all wearing ponytails, and most of the time they're covering them up, so I sometimes have to guess. Number 3 serves it over to Caitlin, to Bryn, and Erica spiking it down. This one lands inbounds with number 8 going for it, but not able to get there in time. Now the score is 17-16. Max up by 1. Erica Oster serving for Emmanuel. She puts it up, and it's received by number 10, and it goes out of bounds off of her uncontrollably, so that would be an ace for Erica. All right. So she gets to serve again here whenever she's ready. Score being 17-17, it's all tied up. Number 9 receives over to 4, to 21, who spikes it down at Erica, who bumps it out of bounds. Now we're at 18-17. Max once again in the lead. Number 1 serving. Libero number 1 serves, received by Milena. Rin sets up Annie, who spikes it down and gets it past the Max block, and it hits the floor before number 8 can get there. So now we are tied up again, 18-18. It's been tied up a lot today. Claire Schoenbeck serving. Claire serves. Number 1 receives. Number 4 to number 16, who tips it over, and Allison is not able to get. All right. Avery to Annie, who spikes it down to number 1. Number 4 to number 3. Out of bounds. I like the spiky. But timeout is called by McDonell.
Say the points because I haven't heard those.
The score is currently 21-20. McDonell is up by 1. We just tried something else, so be sure to tell us if the broadcast is working or not. I don't know if it is. We never know if it is. So we are relying off of you guys. Alexis Eichley getting the serve. Puts it up and received by number 9 over to number 4, who bumps it over to number 9 again. Alexis bumping it over to Avery and
sets it over to number 1. And number 4 to number 9. Spikes it down at Alexis. Bryn spikes it. This one's a bit too far out there. It's out of bounds. So 22 to 20. McDonell in the lead.
Go Lancers!
Number 9 serves over to Elena to Avery, and only the very first to spike at number 1. It's out of bounds. Positive. And now it looks like we have Faith. No. Caitlin Berman serving for Amanda. To number 3, to number 1, who bumps it all the way over to 16. Nice save there, by the way. Erica tips it over, and both numbers 3 and 4 go for it. And neither of them together. Nice by Caitlin again. Number 3 to number 4, and number 3 again. Caitlin bumping it over to Faith, who bumps it over the net. Number 3 to number 4. Lancers are not able to get there in time. Score is currently 23 to 22. Once again, be sure to tell us if the video is working or not. We have no clue whatsoever. Number 16 serves over to Faith, and Erica with the bump over. Miscommunication. Number 3 spikes it down to Caitlin. Over to Bryn, kicks it over to number 1. Number 4 to 21, Faith. Bryn sets up Erica. 2 kicks it over the net. And number 9 not able to dig it up. Lancers now at set points here. 24 to 23. 2 points get it after this timeout. Called by the Max.
All right, and we are back. Be sure to tell us if anything is working or if something's not. That would be Faith Kazema with the serve over to number 1. Number 4 to Alexis to Erica. Number 4 setting it over to Claire, over to Bryn, who sets it over to Erica and gets it past the block. All right. Lancers win the 3rd set. All right, the score being 26 to 24. All right, be sure to tell us in the comments if anything is working or not. We have no way whatsoever of knowing how much this is working, because apparently our mic wasn't working a second ago, and we have no idea whether the video is working or not. So please tell us if it's working. We have no clue. Yeah. All right. So that was a pretty good 3rd set there, played by both teams. McDonell staying in the lead for a while, but Lancers managing to come back and take the victory. We have the Lancers have won 2 sets so far, and the Max have so far only won 1.
Heather just texted me and said, "Tell Sam to fix what he's doing."
We have been trying for about 45 minutes.
You can hear, but now all I hear is crowd noise.
Yeah.
She's okay, and then she said, "Yes, I can hear him now. Now I can't see it." Or okay, I'll just give you the message.
So much has been not working. We think that McDonell like shut off their internet like halfway through the like as soon as the first set like the first set was fine, everything was working perfectly, and then like the internet just stopped working, and then the video cuts out, but it's letting us do the audio sometimes, and then this keeps on like disconnecting every once in a while. We have no idea what's going on. We've been trying
No, I
like
appreciate it. I'll just give you.
we've tried a bunch of different things so far.
Alright. Well, you know what? I'm here. Shit.
Right. All right. Number 16 for McDonell starting off the fourth set here. She puts it up, and it's received by Caitlin. Claire bumps it over to Allison, who tries to set it over, gets blocked. Erica sets it over to number 4 to number 8, and number 3 spiking it down to Caitlin. Claire sets up Erica to Faith, and Claire setting it over to 21. And number 3 with the tip. Lancer's not able to get that back over. So the score is now 1-0. Number 16 setting it over to Faith, over to Erica, and Claire is getting it over. Number 4 to number 21. And it goes out of bounds off of number 21. So Lancers get the point there. The score now is 1-1. Bryn Sternbeck serving for the Lancers. Bryn puts it up and received by number 9 over to number 4. And number 3 with the spike down at Faith. Bryn setting up Erica, who spikes it down, not able to get it past that. Claire spiking it over at number 1. At number 9 hits it out of bounds. All right. So now Bryn gets to serve again. Score is now 2-1. And number 8 bumps it up over to number 3, who spikes it down, but it's not able to get it past the Lancers block. Score is 3-1. Lancers up. Bryn serves again. And number 9 receives over to number 4. And number 21 spikes it out of bounds. Bryn serving again. Score is 4-1. Bryn serves, received by number 5 over to 4. Number 3 spiking it over to Caitlin. Bryn sets up. Claire, who tries to spike it, but it gets blocked by McDonell and lands back in the back of the court on the Lancers side. So number 8 for McDonell scores 4-2. Bryn to Claire, who spikes it down at number 9, who's not able to get it back over. And now Faith Kazemba will be serving for the Lancers. She serves over to 9 and number 1 to number 3, who's not able to get there in time. And point goes to the Lancers. Score is 6-2. Faith gets to serve again. Timeout called by McDonell. I think in these past couple of sets, McDonell has been making some pretty good comebacks after their timeouts. We'll see if they can do it again here, or if Lancers can maintain the lead that they have been keeping up. All right. We apologize for the video not appearing to be able to work. We do not know what the problem is. We've tried many different things. We've tried resetting it. We've tried hooking it up to a hotspot. We've tried using data instead of internet. I don't know. Faith serves again. Number 1 receives over to 4, and number 21 spikes it down at Caitlin, and Faith sets it over. Number 21 spikes it down, back to Faith. Bryn setting up. Erica, who spikes it down at number 9. Number 4 to number 3, who spikes it down, gets blocked by the Lancers. Number 1 to number 4, who bumps it all the way over to Caitlin. Number Bryn to Alexis, who spikes it down at number 1, who it goes off the ceiling and back down, and they're not able to receive that again. So score is 7-2. Faith serves again. Number 1 receives over to number 8, and number 9 spikes it, but it goes underneath the net, and now the score is 8-2. And Faith once again serving. She puts it up and over. Number 2 over to number 4, and number 21 spiking it down to Bryn. Caitlin over to Alexis, who bumps it all the way back over to 8. 4 to 21, and Caitlin bumps it up, but it hits the ceiling and lands quickly back to the ground on the Lancers side. Now the score is 8-3. Lancers up. Number 3 serves for McDonell, received by Caitlin over to Bryn, and Claire spiking it down. Gets it past the block, and it lands on the Mac side. All right. Can't always remember their name on the spot. Erica Oster serving for the Lancers. The score is 9-3. Lancers in the lead by a pretty wide margin. We'll see if they can keep it up. Erica serves, received by number 1. Number 4 tips it over. Lancers manage to get it back over, but it goes out of bounds. Now the score is 9-4, and number 1 is serving. Okay. Number 1 serves, received by Claire. Bryn sets up. Alexis, who spikes it, gets blocked. Claire back to Bryn, and Annie with the tip over, managing to get it past 16. Now we're at 10-4. Claire Sternbeck serving. Puts it up over to number 1, over to 10, and number 9 bumping it over to Claire, over to Annie, and Alexis with the tip over. Number 8 not able to get there in time with the dig. Oh well. Claire serving again. Received by number 1 over to 16. Number 10 bumping it all the way back over to Alexis. And Bryn bumping it over to number 12 over to 4. And 16 spiking it over. Lancers managing to save it after a pretty hard spike. Wow, okay, there was a pretty nice save there by McDonell too. Number 10-4, and number 9 spiking it down to Faith. Claire to Bryn, who hits it over to 8. Number 4 to number 8, and they managed to get it over and past the Lancers. And now the score is 11-5. Number 4 for McDonell serving. Sorry, a lot happened there. I wasn't able to say it in time. It all happened so fast. All right, serves down to Milena, over to Avery. And Bryn with the spike past number 10, who's not able to see that in time. Now the score is 12-5. Alexis Eichley serves over to 10. Number 4 to 10 again. Bumps it over to Alexis, over to Avery, and Annie with the spike, and it lands out of bounds. All right, score is 12-6. Number 9 for McDonell serving. She gets it over, and it goes out of bounds, a bit wide to the right. Score is 13-6. Caitlin Berman serving. She puts it up and received by number 3 over to 4 and 3. Spikes it down again. Faith to Avery, and Erica tries to tip it over. Oh, she does tip it over and gets it past number 8's block. So now we're at 14-6. Lancers with an 8-point lead. All right. Caitlin serves. Number 1 receives but is not able to get it to her teammate. Now we're at 15-6. Caitlin serving again. Puts it up over to 3 to number 1, who bumps it over, and Lancers not able to get that in time. Like Caitlin, Bryn, and Faith all went for it at the same time. Some miscommunication there. Number 16 serves from McDonell, received by Faith over to Avery, and Erica with the spike manages to get it in an open spot on the court. Now we're at 16-7. Bryn Schoenbeck serving for the Lancers, who are in the lead. Bryn serves again down to number 9, and number 21 tips it over. Claire not able to dig that up. Now we are at 16-8. Number 8 for McDonell serving now. Faith to Caitlin, and Claire with the spike over to number 1 to 4, and number 3 spiking it down to Faith, up to Bryn, and Erica spiking it, gets blocked, back to Erica, and Claire with the spike down to number 1. Number 4 tipping it over to Faith, who's not able to get it over to Allison in time. We're now at 16-9. Number 8 serves, received by Caitlin, over to Claire, and Faith spikes it, but it goes into the net. 16-10. See if the Lancers can keep it up some more here. McDonald's coming back a bit. Number 8 down to Caitlin, to Bryn, and Erica tips it, gets blocked. Bryn sets up Claire, who spikes it down to number 1. Number 4 sets up 21, gets blocked by Allison, and hits the floor before number 8 can dig it. We're now at 17-10. Faith serves and gets an ace from number 9. Now the score is 18-10. Faith serves again, received by 9 over to 3, who spikes it down and gets it in bounds right at the corner of the court on the Lancer side. Now it's 18-11. Number 3 for McDonald's serving. This serve goes into the net. Lancers now at 19. Erica Oster serving for the Lancers. Sit over to number 1, over to 4, and number 9 spiking it down. Annie to Faith. Annie not able to get it back again. We're now at 19-12. Number 1, the libero, serving for McDonell. Number 1 serves, Faith receives, Bryn sets. Very nice spike by Alexis Eichley. Number 10 for McDonell, not able to get there in time. Now we are at 20-12. Lydia is still turning the camera in hopes of it working. We'll see if it does or not by some miracle. Claire serves, gets an ace. Number 1 not able to bump it up in the air. Pretty much just hits her and then hits the floor right after. All right, Claire serves again. 21-12. Number 10 to 4. And number 16 spikes it down at Faith. It hits the ceiling, and Milena's not able to get that back up again. Number 4 for McDonell serving. Milena to Avery. Bryn spiking it down at number 1. Number 9 bumps it up over to 4, who sets it over to Avery. Annie bumps it over to Allison. And that would be Bryn with the spike down at number 4, who sets it over to Avery. Bryn setting it over to number 10. Number 4 sets up number 16, who spikes it down at Faith. Gets it up over to Avery. And Annie with the spike down at number 1. Number 4 sets up number 9, who hits it over to Bryn. Avery to Bryn, who spikes it down at number 4. Number 8 to number 9. And Avery to Alexis, and Annie setting it over. Point goes to McDonell because a lift was called on the Lancers. Very long rally, right? Very long rally there. Volley by both teams. Very long volley there by both teams. It went on for a while. All right, number 4 down to Milena, over to Avery, and Bryn with the spike over to 1. Number 4 sets up number 9, and number 10 saves it, gets it over to Milena, over to Avery to Bryn, spiking it down at number 4, over to number 16, who spikes it down and gets it inbounds. Both teams have really upped their game here, I've noticed, in the last couple of plays. Both teams really wanting to win this. All right, number 4 down to Faith, and Avery to Milena. Even hit the ceiling there, but they managed to get it back over to McDonell. Bryn to Avery, back to Alexis, who spikes it down, and number 10 hits it to the floor. Now we are at 22-15. Alexis Eichley serving for the Lancers. It's received by number 10, and she hits it out of bounds. So an ace by Alexis. We are now at 23-15. All right, Alexis serving again. It's received by number 8, over to 4, and number 16 spiking it down, and Milena over to Allison. Bryn bumping it over to 8. Number 4 to number 9, who spikes it down. Lands inbounds right next to Alexis. And now the score is 23-16. Lancers close to winning this match against McDonell. We'll see if they can keep it up. They currently have a 7-point lead over McDonell. Number 9 serves over to Milena, and Avery to Annie, who tips it over. Number 1 bumps it up over to 3, who spikes it down at Milena. Avery puts it up. Bryn spikes it. Number 3 bumps it up. Number 8 bumps it over. Faith to Avery, and Bryn with the spike goes out of bounds. We're now at 23-17. Number 9 for McDonell serving. Serves it over to Faith. Allison, who spikes it down. Bryn with the spike, gets it past the block. Point goes to Emmanuel because McDonell touches the net, and now Emmanuel is at match point. All right. Match point against McDonell. Currently with a 7-point lead over McDonell. We'll see if they can pull off a win here. We got Caitlin Berman serving. Lancers fans all with their fingers out doing Uno Mas to cheer him on. Number 4 sets up number 3, who spikes it down. Caitlin bumps it over to Avery, who bumps it over to Erica. She spikes it down, and number 4 hits it out of bounds, and Emmanuel has beaten McDonell. They get to advance into the next round of the playoffs. Very nice game played by both teams. McDonell putting up a very nice effort, winning one set almost coming back several times. Very, very nice game played by both teams here. All Lancers fans out on the court cheering all the Lancers on. Very exciting game here. And we will see you again sometime next week for the Lancers' next game. All right. Sorry the video wasn't working. We apologize once again for that. I hope my descriptions. I hope I was describing the game enough for you guys to be able to visualize it in your minds. And well, we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully the video will be working. See you later.